welcome to the next episode or another episode of MovieCast. My name is Dana, and I am the host of this talk that we're about to have now. And I am joined by Mr. Richard Bailey Jr. How are you doing, good sir?
Doing good, Dana. What's up, listeners and viewers?
We're going to talk about Companion. This is a movie that Richard literally just got out of the theater seeing. I saw this a while ago and had no one to talk to, so I'm very excited for this conversation, this discussion of what I feel is one of the best horror movies, social commentary movies of 2025. And we're technically only 30 days into 2025, so that's saying a lot. I'm sure that'll change my opinion in a couple of weeks when something else drops. But yes, Companion is the Warner Brothers movie, which I was shocked to see. Warner Brothers movie. It's not Warner Brothers, it's Warner Brothers.
Oh, yeah.
Lord of the Rings. It's under the umbrella. You had me scared for a second. It's under the umbrella. And it's basically a very simple story that I'm happy that they advertise as a very simple story because it's completely chaotic. Of a guy named Josh sees a really beautiful girl in the grocery store. They lock eyes, they fall in love, and the rest is history. So, this lovely little rom-com with a dash of blood and starvation. What were your initial thoughts? Because I went into this completely blind. I didn't even have a trailer. So what about you?
Okay, so first and foremost, I thought this was a phenomenal movie. All right. When I saw the trailer, because they had a trailer for this late last year in the movie theaters, because I do use the AMC A-list. When I saw that trailer, I did not know what this movie was. The way they show it in the trailer, it's not exactly what the movie is when you see it. And that's why I think anybody who is going to see this movie, they should go into it blind, because I was very surprised with what actually happened in the movie, because the way they cut the shots in the trailer, you don't know anything about what the real story is behind Iris. You don't get that indication whatsoever in the trailer. It just looks to you like this between those two characters, Josh and Iris, there's some type of intense relationship. And somebody will get killed. You see it, they kind of make it look as though she is going to kill somebody. He's killing people. In that trailer, they show this. So that's why I said, very interesting. And of course, I will say that I am a Jack Quaid fan. I think he is a fantastic actor. He's excellent on The Boys. He definitely is Dennis Quaid's son, because Dennis Quaid is absolutely crazy in the movies that he's been in. And his son does a phenomenal job. So, yeah, that was a reason why I didn't want to see this. And then you and I spoke prior to this. You saw Heretic, so you know this actress that's in this movie. I haven't seen Heretic yet. But when I saw that they were both in this, I was sold when I saw the trailer, because I'm like, I want to see what this is. That's my initial reaction, but we'll get into that. But overall, I will say this was an excellent movie. It's definitely... I would make the argument, because I haven't seen too many movies yet this month. This is the best movie I've seen this month, no doubt about it, so far. And it definitely is going to be a movie that I think is going to be talked about a lot more as the year goes on. But we'll see what happens.
Yeah, no, I initially agree with you. So I went in completely blind. I thought this, I didn't know what to expect. I know that there was a horror element. And I know that it was like a couple going up, for me, upstate, to go meet his friends, introduce him to the friends. And throughout the entire movie, I was confused because I didn't have a trailer. I knew that she was AI. But the thing with me was I didn't know that he knew that she was AI. So there was like little things of like there was like a plug that she had in her bag, and I'm like, oh, he doesn't know. And then I was like, oh, maybe he does know. So that I think from the very beginning, they did a really great job of saying, yes, we know because of the trailers that she's AI, but I thought it was like she's keeping secrets from him. And then it was like, maybe he's keeping secrets from her. But what did you think of the flip of she's a companion, but she doesn't know that she's AI. And she has these deep rooted memories that he just downloaded one day.
See, that's why I say why this is a brilliant movie, because there are layers to the storytelling with the characters, their whole dynamic. Like you said that you knew when you saw the trailer that she was AI. I missed that completely. I didn't get that indication whatsoever. So I really went into this blind because I thought maybe this character I thought they both could have been psychotic, and then something happens that sets them off and they go on like a killing spree. That was the indication that I got from that when I saw that initial trailer, because it didn't really show anything else. It just said companion, and they advertise it as such, and then you see the shot where her hand is burning. So I didn't really know what that was about. So it is interesting. So I'm curious if other people also caught on that she is AI the same way you did. But no, yeah, like I was saying, there are layers to the storytelling. We didn't know that she didn't know that she was AI, and she found out. But again, there are layers to it because she was told. Yes, because he told her. But there are layers to this. Stuff with the friends, which we will get into. And what's going on with that relationship, that dynamic. That's why I said this is an excellent movie, because there was a couple of twists and turns in the storytelling. And I will also say this. I absolutely love the soundtrack in the movie. All of those love songs, the Bee Gees, the way that last song with the Bee Gees, I listened to all of that music. So I was like, yeah, I love the soundtrack. They did a fantastic job with that. But yeah, it's a movie that definitely keeps you on the edge of your seat in terms of certain aspects of the storytelling, and they did a great job with that.
Yeah. So I guess I'll just kind of talk about the movie in general, and spoiler, that already. So you have this really seem like a very decent couple going upstate to meet the friends. And there's this guy, Rupert Friend plays Sergey, who's like kind of a Russian. We don't know what he is, and they don't know exactly what he does either. He just has money. He has money. He's creepy. He's dating one of the friends. And you could tell, is kind of repulsed by him. And then you have this lovely gay couple, Patrick and Eli, who, they're talking about how much they love each other. And for me, I really kind of felt the chemistry. I'm like, they're really sweet together. And then you have this other couple that's like, ugh. And you could tell she's like, ugh. And what happens, very simple, is she goes out, to the beach. He goes and he's right behind her, him being Sergey, played by Rupert Friend. What a terrible wig, by the way. I love it. And he attacks her. And as a result, she ends up killing him. And you think it was something very simple. It's a terrible accident. Call the police. But come to find out, it is something much more devious, where she doesn't know that she's AI. She's programmed to basically be a little aggressive, and the whole plot is to kill him, Sergey, for his money. So what did you think of the first twist? Because there's a lot of twists in here. The first twist of the whole plan for them to go upstate, obviously she doesn't know, was to kill Sergey, because one, he's a terrible person. He's like this Russian mob guy that we're being told that he is. He has a whole bunch of money that people don't know where it came from. So it's kind of okay that he dies because he's just a terrible person. What was your thoughts on that initial plot twist?
I thought they did a very good job with that. I think obviously as before it got to that moment, the way they portrayed Iris as a character, very much wanting to always please Josh. And that to me was a sign that something is, obviously I didn't know that she was AI until when we got to that point, until when he turned her off. I didn't know she was AI up until that point, but obviously I thought it was very weird, because in any relationship, it's supposed to be 50-50. You don't doing all this stuff for one person and you ain't getting nothing in return. So I said, okay, something was off with that. But then when she did go out there and she was out there with Sergey, And it was encouraging her, yeah, stay right here, just keep me some company. That's when I knew, okay, something is going to happen now, because the guy is very creepy and weird. And they did a very good job of making you think that he is a corrupt guy, all because he's Russian, he has money. It makes you wonder, where did he get the money from? They did a fantastic job, which makes you think, okay, yeah, this guy is probably needs to happen to him because he's not a good guy. But when you find out later, no, it's just that he had a lot of money. It's just like, that was an excellent twist. And the fact that even Josh didn't know this, because the girl who was his friend didn't even tell him what the guy actually did. She just said, oh, he has a wife, he's a horrible boyfriend, so he must die. That's what she was thinking. So that's why she was all for this plan to get rid of him. But she never told Josh the full facts that, yes, he actually isn't a mob guy or anything like that. So that was, again, layers upon layers of storytelling. It was very entertaining.
Yeah, I did like that aspect of the storytelling and the layers and no one not knowing anything. And I thought that it was really interesting because her devotion, Iris's devotion to Josh, kind of made Kat unsettled. And for me, I thought initially she was jealous because Sergey, remember, he had a wife. He has a whole family. So she was just basically the side piece who benefited off his money. So I thought that it was like, oh, she's jealous of this relationship that Josh and Iris has. She genuinely loves him at that time and at that moment. It felt like they were both in love, like they were a couple who loved each other dearly and they were together. And so it was like, ew, why are you a hater? Like, do better in life. Find someone who loves you as well. But then you kind of understood the tension that she had, the fact that that she was an AI, she was a companion. To me, it gave off two things. It gave off like an icky vibe, because now knowing that she's not real. But my thing was, why are we generating so much hatred towards this AI who doesn't know that she's AI, and not Josh, who brought this AI and is responsible for everything? And and the AI is simply going to be the murderer for your weird plot to kill this man. And now there's no wife and the kids, and he's dead, and all that other stuff. So she's just terrible people, by the way.
Oh yeah.
So that was one of the big plots. And then, the reason why she was able to kill him was because he changed the settings. And of course, we didn't really know anything. And he's like, I want to say goodbye. And I'm like, what do you mean say goodbye? What's going on? I'm confused. And then he was like, sleep. And I said, oh my Lord, Jesus, what happened? Like, I knew that she was AI, but they did such a great job of not really saying, hey, at the beginning, she's AI, that I forgot. So when he said sleep, I'm sitting here like, what just happened? I was confused. And then when he goes into the story, and this is why I love Sophie, and you have to see Heretic, because Sophie Thatcher is such an amazing actress who she knows how to convey emotion through her face, her eyes, and the fact that you can see that she's so confused and she's trying to put it all together, understanding that she's AI, and it's like, no, I have these memories. We met doing this and this and this. And I liked how they cut in between the seriousness and then the comedic version of them reenacting how they met, and it was just so interesting and kind of sad with that aspect. And you could kind of see like the heartbreak in her trying to understand everything, and then her fighting back. So I like that. But then there was the other twist that I did not see coming, which was they were supposed to split the money. This was a huge argument. They were supposed to split the money. What was it? 4 ways. Now, help me with my math. My math is not mathing. The initial split was 3 ways. And then they was arguing and said it was 2 ways. And I'm sitting here and I'm like, what do you mean 2 ways? Well, and this is what I'm expecting. Yep.
No, it was 3. And the guy was arguing it should be 4. Yep.
Right. So I'm sitting there, I'm like, what's going on? And then I said, oh my God, he's going to pull out a knife and stab him. And it's going to be something out of Scream. It's like, hey, look, and now and then he turned around, Eli, turned around and was like, sleep. And I fell to the floor. And that's when Patrick was like, and I said, what? So the fact that Patrick was also a companion was something that was truly heartbreaking to me. How did you take that? Because that was another plot twist. How did you take that twist?
That to me was a fantastic twist. By the way, I really like that actor as well. He was in Smile too. The first victim, the victim in front of Sky. So that guy was fantastic in this movie. Yeah, I had the exact same reaction when I saw that twist, and I was like, that was brilliant. That was brilliant. And then how they try to use that later, because we know something does happen to his partner. How they try to use that later to the advantage of Josh, which again, fantastic, because it shows you how deranged and how much of a psycho Josh is as a character. Very delusional, very obsessed and trying to get his way. And that's why I say, when I said earlier that Jack Quaid, this guy is 1000% Dennis Quaid's son, because his father plays some very crazy characters. And yeah, his son is playing crazy characters as well. He also was in Scream when they did when they brought Scream back initially, and he was the killer in that movie as well. So again, this guy, he's doing an outstanding job. And again, it's funny because he can pull off being a nice guy. We've seen him in The Boys, but he can also come off as a psycho in these other movies. So he has a great range as an actor. But yeah, I love that twist a lot, because I wasn't expecting that. I wasn't expecting that either. But yeah, that was fantastic. No doubt about it.
I think Jack is better than his father.
Oh, yeah. You can make that argument. Yeah, you could. You might can make that argument.
I have to. I'm all for Nepo babies when they have talent, because he has talent, and he can play any role. He plays the guy who's pushed over in The Boys. He's playing a psychotic person over here in Companion, and I absolutely just love it. So yeah, and then we kind of got to see the true nature of Josh, his character, when she realized she's about to be shut down. She's going to be returned to the factory, and she's still trying to grapple with the fact that she's not even real. And she, long story short, escapes. And she realizes, how to control her intelligence, because it's all on an app. And it's the thing, it's really interesting, because I hate when they over-explain things in a movie, but for some reason this just made it worked. Like, I don't need you to go through the plot by plot, but it worked so well. And it also gave her that initiative to, this is what I need to do, and let me increase. He had her in intelligence. What was it, 40 or was it 30?
40% intelligence.
40%,
and again, that goes to show you, again, they don't have to tell you too much. It shows you how much of a horrible person Josh is. Because obviously they kept saying, and he had the friend who kept saying, yeah, Josh, we already know you got that doll just so you can get busy. It wasn't you have no really emotional connection to the doll. But it goes to show you, yes, how he already had full control. He said, you can't leave. And it shows you, without even you having to see it, you saw it obviously with the interactions they had throughout the movie and how things went. But even when there wasn't having an interaction, it goes to show you how horrible he was, to put that intelligence down all the way down to 40%, and just try and had full control of her over what she was doing, the emotions. Even when you mentioned earlier, when they had the whole sequence where they first met. And that was the other thing. When they showed that sequence of the other two characters, when Patrick met his partner, that's when I was like, okay, yeah, now you see, yeah, this whole AI thing, how they orchestrated it, it made a lot of sense. It gave a lot of weight to everything that was happening. Yeah.
But kind of to piggyback off of that, I love that it showed this is a complete fake a relationship on his part. But then you saw the gay couple, and it was like, this felt real genuine.
They
loved each other.
Yeah, he did. And they had the whole heart-to-heart where he said, yeah, I would never program you a certain type of way. I wouldn't treat you the same way that Josh treats Iris. You definitely felt that, which, and in that moment, when I saw that they had that strong connection, I knew this character is going to get killed. So that's I knew that as soon as you open up, you show this genuine connection between these two. I said, okay, this story won't end well, but it was still very well done. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it was really well done, and I like the fact that they used the woods, and she, and obviously, it increased that intelligence. Jesus, is a biscuit. But yeah, I think, and it showed for Eli, because he didn't deserve that. It was genuine love,
Mm-hmm.
and it showed that he was completely Josh was turned into a complete psycho at that point, where it was the risk of losing everything. Um, it was really weird, but I absolutely loved. I thought the plot itself of we're gonna kill Sergi to take his money could have easily been stupid. Like it was stupid, but somehow they made that work, and it was just a complete disaster. And I liked how they used basically so she's in the woods. They used the aspect of the environment of the woods, and of course we start losing people right away, and how they turn Josh how they program him to basically get Iris because a robot can chase a robot, and they put him at like completely zero in
Yeah, I was just about to say, you talking about Patrick?
Thatcher,
This
yeah.
is just to piggyback off of what was said about the 40% intelligence that he put on Iris. He put Patrick's aggressiveness all the way up to 100%, and then just to show you how crazy he is, because they have that whole love link when you reboot the AI, and then you have the love link. He made sure, okay, so you're going to love me, you're going to serve me. That's why I say, it shows you the length to what this guy was willing to go just to get Iris back to try and take control of the situation. It was very ridiculous. But yes, and then again, when Patrick came after her. Now, I do want to ask you a question. How did you feel about how he beat up that cop? Because that was brutal. The people next to me, they're like, "Oh, wow, that was
I
pretty
thought
brutal."
Terminator. I'm like, this is Terminator. All you needed was do 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 do. He's just. I'm like, this is the Terminator. This is amazing. Um, I I loved it because it was just so ridiculous, and I liked how she switched her settings to German
Yeah.
because she
Yes.
couldn't lie. So she was like, "Yeah, I killed him. Everyone's dead. Oh no, what's going on?" And she's like, "Guten Tagen," and then he just comes in and completely destroys the cop. It gave me
Yeah.
complete like Terminator vibes. I loved it. It just really worked, and they was able to get her back. And it's just all this mind game between the two of them. And Josh just doesn't know any better because he's an AI. And I
Mm-hmm.
liked how they were able to use that environment and to manipulate him in that aspect. And he realized it was really sweet because he's still connected to Eli, even though Eli got.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just a really kind of sweet, beautiful moment. And then we get into this monologue history again, where um, Josh is just pathetic. And I think that it represents, to me, this is when the movie kind of flipped and it represented. I'm trying to put this in a way where I know it's going to anger people, but it's the only way I can think of the lonely white male epidemic, where you haven't accomplished anything in life. You're blaming everyone and everything about for your problems, and you take it out on other people. And you have Iris because you can't get an actual real woman. You have this companion robot to just basically serve you and to always please you and to do whatever you say because no one in your life is actually treating you that way. And that's when we see the layers of Josh and we see just how disgusting and despicable of a human being he is. And the whole time he was faking and lying because it made himself feel better. And in actuality, he's nothingness. And it was a really great reflection on kind of today's society of how they are overall trying to control other people. How did it go? Your body, my choice, and everything else that we see going on in society. And even if you look at what happened recently with Kai Cenat, he has this robot an AI robot that was trying to actually escape the house because they kept abusing him. That's real. There was a $70,000 robot that they bought, and they keep abusing it and humiliating it, and it tried to escape the house. So to me, companion, you have these, and you just recently had this. What was it, CES show? Where they have like all these different robots that you can use to your whim. I'll leave it as that. You could treat it as a whole. And so that's just to show the evolution of, robots is really great and intelligent things of how we can use them in different ways, but he's just using it to abuse them. So I thought it was just a really great piece of what's going on with society and technology and like that lonely male epidemic. And then you do have somebody who is like, well, what was the blonde guy, Eli and Patrick, where it is a genuine relationship. But then again, it's like, is it really because it's a robot? So it does pose a lot of questions and a lot of, situations that I don't think that, just surface level, you have to go in deeper and realize that they're posing. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I agree with everything you said. The comment I was going to make in regards to Patrick, you really felt like that was a genuine relationship with Eli, also because of how he took himself out at the end as well. Because when he finally came to the realization after Iris was talking him through and telling him what Josh was doing, and he realized that he remembered, Eli is gone, then he didn't want to be here anymore either. So you definitely felt the emotional connection between those two characters, that this is obviously Eli really cared a lot about Patrick and vice versa. So, that did feel very, very genuine and real. But yeah, this Josh guy is a horrible, horrible human being. Let's put it at that.
Yeah, absolutely terrible human being, and you get to the part where he's basically torturing her. Which, remember, she can feel pain, but even though she's not real, she can sense and feel pain. So he sets her hand on fire, and we kind of see that sequence. I think it was like the very first teaser trailer that they dropped. They make you say, "What is this?" So it just to show like, oh, she's not real, but you're still inflicting pain upon her. And it's just a very interesting, mentally psychotic, messed up person. That he truly is, and you see, and then it ends up with a thing where he makes her blow her brains out, and that's when I'm like, okay, end of the movie, and then it's like plot twist, and they come in and they service like the what do you call? I forgot the name of the company. You would know because you just saw
it. I also missed. I didn't catch the name either of the company.
Yes.
I was very immersed in how he was going to get himself out of this situation when those guys showed up, and then they tell him all the information. Oh yes, well, don't worry. She still, all this information is recorded. Her mainframe is intact, so we will find out what happened to her. And then that again, they want to emphasize and show you just what is the desperate lengths that Josh is going to go through to try and get away with the money. And you saw again, Patrick. Hey, Patrick, I need you to do this for me. Take care of these guys. But I thought it was interesting that guy didn't recognize. The worker didn't recognize who Patrick was until they saw him outside approaching the car. Like, wait a second, that's a model that we got rid of. So yes, there's a lot going on in that particular scene. But again, they show you just how desperate Josh was just to try to get away with this entire crime. And one thing I do want to mention too, real quickly, is what I mentioned earlier that he has the other friend who there obviously was some tension between him and the other girl, though they were friends. But that whole thing about when she wanted to leave after she saw the cop was taken out, and then he tells Patrick to stop her, and Patrick again, his aggressive level is up to 100%. Just take her out, stab her. Again, that's why I say, man, it's Yeah, this guy is a horrible person. But that I knew that something was going to happen to her when she tried to leave because he wanted her to stay there and be involved in this. He didn't want to. Could have been done a better way, but again, it didn't go down the way he anticipated.
Yeah. No, I originally thought that there was like some type of love, like they was having an affair.
Yeah.
And then would it really be an affair since it was a robot? There's so many questions.
Oh, you mean
those two were involved?
You mean between Josh and the other girl that was there that was messing around with Sergi?
Yeah.
Messing around with Sergi. I definitely thought there was something between those two. And again, they gave you the clues when the first night they were there and everybody was dancing, and then you saw that Iris saw Josh talking with her very closely, and then she went out on the dance floor. So again, that's the one thing I will say about this movie is it did a very good job of conveying the actual emotion and the feelings that the AI companions had as well. Because I still felt that, and again, like you said, the actress who played Iris, fantastic actress, I felt like she really did genuinely love Josh. But when you saw who he was as a person and what he was doing and how he tried to control it, 1,000% made sense for you to now go against him. There is no way around that. So, but yeah, they did a very good job of conveying that, just like, certain people get attached to the AI companions, the AI companions get attached to the person as well. But in the case of Josh, he was never attached to Iris. He just had her for one function and to do whatever he says. That was it. So very toxic individual, toxic mindset. Yeah, all of the bad words. He deserves all the bad words.
Yeah, but no, and I also kind of like the fact that her evolution of realizing that he's a terrible person and that she doesn't love him was natural. It wasn't programmed where it's like, and we're going to decrease this function. It became a natural evolution of discovering he is a disgusting, terrible person and I want nothing to do with him. So I did like how that happened. And then you also saw with Patrick how he was able to kind of reprogram and remember his relationship with Eli. And that is kind of initially what saved everything, was she was able to reach him on an AI to AI level. So I did like how I guess it was an accidental evolution because it wasn't programmed that way.
You mean for Patrick?
For both of them.
Yes.
Because remember, she fell out of love, and then he always retained his love.
Yes. That's what it felt like. One comment I was going to make is, with the whole thing of when Patrick now became when Patrick and Josh, when Josh made Patrick his love companion or what have you, I was wondering if I'm glad that they went the way they did with the storytelling, because I was wondering was they going to do something where Patrick was going to get jealous because he saw how Josh was interacting with Iris. So I'm glad they didn't go in that direction, because I thought they were going to do that, and then that would have set off, made him more jealous and want to take her out. I thought they were going to do that. I'm glad they didn't do that, because because again, they made it very clear to us when Patrick had that conversation with Eli that obviously he very much cared about Eli. That was a real relationship. Even though he's an AI, there was a real connection there. So for him to now be reminded after Iris told him, that made sense, because she also was referencing the exact same things that Eli was saying to him when they had that heartfelt conversation. So they did a very good job, instead of going in the other direction and saying, oh yeah, he's jealous of her now, so he has to go after her. So I think I'm glad they took this path with the storytelling.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. It was really smart how they did things with that, and then they kept building up on layers and layers, and it worked. So we thought that the story ended with her blowing her brains out, but then the technicians came out. I was like, no, her mainframe is good. It's already downloaded, and they started freaking out and sent Josh to kill everybody, except for one guy made it. She
Yeah.
it was Iris saved the one guy who gave her an upgrade, which was complete control over her settings. So Josh couldn't be like sleep. None of that worked anymore. And that's when you got like the full evolution of her being able to think for herself, which then went back to what she said at the very beginning of the movie was,
Mm-hmm.
I was free once I met Josh and once I killed him.
Mm-hmm.
And at first we didn't understand what they kind of meant, and now you understood. So, he once again tried to kill her. But the thing with me is, and the only one little tiny nitpick that I have with this movie, when you
Uh-oh.
focus too long on something, no, when you focus too long on something, that's how I know that's going to be the demise. Because they focus too long on the wine opener.
Yes. Yes.
They focused
Well,
way too long, and it was smell this and look at that, and I was like, it's coming back to
well,
haunt you.
I agree 100%. But let me ask you a question: was that not a brutal kill for him? I think he actually deserved a worse death than that. But I was okay with what happened to him in the end because that looked very brutal. I would not ever want to have that happen to me, getting shot in the head like that. That's yeah, that was but it was poetic because he had her shoot herself in the head. So that made sense in terms of how he got taken out. With that, but that looked pretty gruesome. That
Well, he was a corkscrew. He didn't shoot her. He wasn't shot. He had
yeah,
the
yeah,
corkscrew through
yeah.
the head. The electric corkscrew that just kept going. I
Oh yeah.
was like, oh. But it's symbolic. He kept screwing her, and now she screwed him back.
There you go. There you go.
Hey, but But yeah,
Yeah.
no, it completely worked for me. It was just, and I liked how she was able to be free. And now it's like, what do you do with your life now?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. And like, what's gonna happen with the company that does the companion dolls? We don't
Uh,
know.
that's a great question. Maybe we'll find out in the future, but probably not. We'll see what happens. I was going to add though, I like the final shot of the movie where she sees there's another couple and it's the woman is the exact same model as her, different hair color, etc. But that again, that was a very nice touch. Um, then you see
They're everywhere.
exactly. She sees the hand, so she's basically telling her, "Oh yeah, I'm a robot," and it's old. For now, she's going to be thinking that AI robot's going to be thinking, "Wait a second, am I human?" It leaves a lot to the imagination. But yeah, I'm glad that she got her control in the end. The guy, you said the guy gave her free will. She's able to do everything she wants to do. So I think that was appropriate for that to be perfect way for the entire story to end. And Josh got what he deserved in the end. So everybody wins.
Everybody wins, but at the same time, it's like you did all of that. No, she ended up with the money. The robot ended up with the money
Oh yeah.
at the end, and it's like, where's the police? I feel sorry for Sergey's wife and children. He has kids.
Well, if he has kids, he has a wife. He should not be messing around with other women. He was out there at that little place that had all these people over his place. He shouldn't have been there. He should have been home with his wife and kids. So,
But it kind of leaves like a big question for me. I'm wondering if like he deleted her files so that nobody else knows about what happened.
That's a good question. I'm not sure. That's a very good question. I think obviously, here's the thing. Obviously, Josh had all of his motives, but the one thing about Josh is that he was still stupid as well in some regards, because you even remember when she first got free, she had his phone, so she had access to the one thing he had to control her, and then even with all the stuff with the AI, when the guy showed up and they said, "Oh yeah, about the hardware," the guy asked, "You did read the user manual, right?" And obviously he didn't. So clearly, this guy is not altogether there. So I don't know if he was smart enough to think about ahead in terms of how he was going to do stuff for her or try to orchestrate it as such. I have no idea, but in the end, he got what he deserved.
And the plan would have never worked to begin with, even if they was to go through with the plan, because they would have just went through the mainframe and could have realized that the settings were changed.
Oh yeah, yeah. It wouldn't have worked for sure.
They were just stupid to begin with. So yeah, no, but it was an excellent movie. Companion 2, Free the Robots. Everyone gets free.
Hey, listen. It might happen. There might be some more that they can do. Although it's probably going to be a one-off type of movie, but it is good, you know. And again, I'm surprised that, like you said, Warner Brothers involved in this, because Lord knows Warner Brothers, they need to have some positive things happen for them, you know. So hopefully. Well, yeah, some stuff. And they took some losses last year as well. But you know, they need to definitely. This movie, I think, will do well. Obviously, this movie is going to possibly be the top movie this weekend, I'm assuming. I don't really know what it's going to go up against, because there's other movies in the theater right now. But I do think this movie will do well. Oh, Dog Man. Oh yeah, that was one of your favorite movies, right? For so far this year.
I love Dog Man. Dog Man. You joke, but I love that movie. It's weird and like a little creepy, but it works.
So I am curious to know about that, but I will make a prediction right now here on this show. It might, Dog Man might be number one. It might. But I kind of feel like this companion movie it has to be in the top three. If it's not number one, it's probably going to be number two. Again, there's other movies that came out, you know, because I know Flight Risk came out last week, so on and so forth. There's a lot of other movies out, but I think this movie is definitely going to make a good amount of money, because I mean, when I went into the theater tonight, there was a good amount of people in there, and what I also found interesting is, I went to the AMC, but this particular movie was in the Dolby Cinema type of theater. That's when I knew, okay, movie, there's something more to this movie now, because obviously the Dolby Cinema has the higher quality picture, the audio. So I said, okay, there's more to this movie. This isn't just like a regular movie, because they don't put just a regular movie in the Dolby Cinema. And then I found out, okay, so now when I see the AI stuff, the visuals, the music, all that, okay, it makes sense. It's perfect for that. So we'll see what happens, but I think it is going to make some good money this weekend. So I guess we'll find out.
Well, the budget's only $10 million. So that's good.
Oh, really?
See, you can make a movie with $10 million.
That's it.
And to me, it's these big budget movies, like Red One, for example. It was what, $400 million. And I'm sitting here and I'm like, just give me these smart, you know, horror, thriller, psychological movies for like $2, and they were good. It far exceeded expectations. I thought the script was fantastic, and you know, and it was very relevant and great sign of the times and what's to come. And even something simple, we forgot about the self-driving car. That whole sequence with her trying to match his voice so that she could drive away.
That was fantastic. But again, that was perfect also, because it showed you how horrible Josh was. He was trying to get into that car, smashing the window and so on and so forth. It shows you how crazy and unhinged this guy could be when pushed. So fantastic.
And I think everyone did a really great job. I think that this would be a tad bit honest. The girl was underutilized. I think we could have made her just a little bit more interesting instead of just side-eyeing everyone. But yeah, random surprise of Rupert Friend. That was a terrible wig. But Rupert Friend being in there, and he's just being grimy and gross. So, you know, which was like, this is what kind of made me upset a little bit, because before I realized that she was, even if you look at her being an AI, They purposely knew that he was raping.
Yeah.
So they knew that he would attack her. Instead, it was the entire plan was contingent upon him attacking her.
Mm-hmm.
It seemed. It was
Yeah, it
like, really,
was.
you set this girl up. You suck as a woman. You're just terrible. But yeah, so it was like you can make the argument that maybe that was one of the weaknesses that it was contingent upon him attacking her, or else the entire plan would have fell through. But some people are just that creepy that he would just attack any any woman that breathed. And I love how they created that tension and you felt the uncomfortability within that scene as well. And it was like crazy because remember he was still alive at first, and then it just went completely sideways, and it was
Yeah.
horrible. But I like the fact that it created this really nice, what we think is a nice couple. She's nervous, meet the friends, something happened, next tension, and then right away it just goes to complete poop. So I liked that, and it kept that guessing game. So for me, it was an excellent film. I don't know exactly how you would classify it. Is it a thriller? Is it a psychological thriller?
They are calling it a suspense. When I looked at the movie listing at AMC, I'm like, I don't know. I mean, I guess, but I don't know. I don't know if it's all. I mean, some of it's suspense, but they also advertise it as a horror movie in the advertising. So I don't know what you would call it. I just say thriller. I guess is a good one. Thriller, yeah. There's some thrilling things that happen in the movie. A lot of twists and turns. Similar to how some Tubi movies are very thrilling, and they call them thrillers. But this was a lot better than
You
those
know,
movies, all right? Yeah.
a
So,
lot better than a lot of the movies. But just a really quick side note, there's a
yeah.
Jonathan Majors Tubi movie that was superb. I'll leave it at that.
Oh, really? Okay, I got to see this before this other movie drops. The Magazine Dreams movie, yes.
Magazine Dreams is absolutely superb. I saw it. It was like, yes, he's gonna get the Oscar, and then things went complete
And
dog
then,
poop
yeah.
after that. I was like, really? You just had to just keep your hands to yourself. Even if you feel like you're in the right, keep your hands to the south. Sit
Yes.
on your hands and walk away. Even if you're being chased, keep your hands to yourself. But yeah, absolute hot mess of Jonathan Majors. This was the opposite. This was a wonderful movie that I thought was a wonderful um, welcoming start to the new year before everything goes to complete poop.
Absolutely.
So,
Mhm.
any more final thoughts that you have to say about the Compagnon?
Oh, no, I will tell everybody to check this movie out. Hopefully, you saw this movie before you listened to this review. Otherwise, you were spoiled. But you definitely should check the movie out if you saw the trailer and you're interested in what it is. I would highly recommend you give it a chance. Um, and that's all I have to say about Companion. And obviously, if you are checking out all of the videos, the interviews, the content Dana has been putting on the Koalition Entertainment here on this channel, please consider subscribing because there's going to be a lot of things coming. You know, a lot of movies dropping, TV shows dropping. So you definitely should subscribe and keep up with everything that she's working on here on this channel.
I will say that we are going to have a devil of a time. I dare you. We're going to have a. I want to say this. There's a studio out there that's rather marvelous that is very excited for everyone to have that darn devil of a good time. So we will be having
Interesting.
that. Very interesting. And Pixar is also knocking and ringing too. So yeah, we will be having a lot more interviews and more reviews. And Netflix just dropped their whole slew of things that I will talk about. And of course, everyone go watch your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. I saw the first season. I'll talk about that too. Absolutely superb. Can't say I can't praise it even more. It's just amazing. So yeah, well, I'll be back. He'll be back eventually doing something. We'll be back together. So this has been our review of Companion. Go see it. Run right away to the theater, and we'll catch you later with some Captain America's coming through. So have a great day, afternoon, evening, and we'll see you later.